And in the upper left, starting us off on Tidehunters, it is Abe the Babe. Spam your brunch foods to help out CrunCher. It's brunch foods to help crunch dude, but I have to say. And in the bottom right, you guys know what to do. Give me your XXIs, XXIVIs. Spam your Roman numerals because it is insuperable. Okay. Top 10 anime battle here, Rick. It truly is. If ever there's an anime battle between two players in the Americas, I think this would be it, right? Do you concur, Rick?
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely Sasuke versus Dasuke.
Yeah, Nani
Oni-chan. Yeah, this is going to be pretty intense. They're going to need to power up the Super Saiyan here.
Yeah.
And definitely, you know, activate each other's trap cards. But Carson, we can't iterate enough. This is a very, very important series. A very, very important best of 5 for INSUP. CrunCher, he knows, he's very confident. You know, he's hoping that he could just get constant top 2 and just make it to the finals just out of default. But this is the guy standing in his way, and INSUP gets that opportunity to play against him. So we're gonna need some good games from the French-Canadian Skrillex.
Absolutely, yeah. And we could, we definitely, I think Neo got the nail on the head. Like, is this the time when NA is going to be shaken up? Is this the time? Is it right now? It hasn't been since the regional finals when King Deuce was victorious, right? But his reign has since settled in a little bit for the King. But maybe INSUP can shake it up yet again. Is today the day? I think if ever there's an opportunity for INSUP, it is this best of 5 right now. Is he going to be able to do it?
And how can you not get excited at the thought of that? You know, I get the tingles already all over my body. But one militia going down for CrunCher over at the creep camp. So not the greatest start from CrunCher, but INSUP scouting as well. I think he definitely wants to steal these good items at the expansions because we know that you could farm a lot of claws. He's already got 1. And you know you can get some good items on this map. But also, if CrunCher goes for that expo, which we know he is, INSUP wants to be there. I love the Skelly timing, although the timing's not going to see it. The DK is going to have to find this out, but INSUP is not giving CrunCher any room right now. I kind of like this.
Yeah, the militia are called going towards the expansion. INSUP had nice micro on that acolyte that he can keep alive for later, just to scout the movement perhaps of the Archmage if it's going across the map. CrunCher's going to consistently go for run-bys, hit and runs into the main base of INSUP once he gets that expansion up. So the scouting is going to be crucial, but for now, INSUP, it's going to be the harass is crucial. Gets 1 coil last hit, but the level 4 is probably going to go to CrunCher now.
Yeah, I'm surprised he coiled that small one and not going for the big purple Murloc there, but yeah, okay, so he's going to need some happy level harassment right now. The claws also looking like the DK could get it, but surrounded.
With the creeps as well. CrunCher's going to lock this in. Even if that Murloc runs away, he's going to lock this in. And the DK, is it just going to die? No, it TP's away with no health. Well, is it 2 peasants at the end of the day and a coil last hit? Honestly, 3 peasants is kind of acceptable in my opinion. You got 2, but 3 is around where you want to be, and then you can go back and creep. But INSUP, I'm wondering if he's just going to say, whatever, you get the expansion, I'm just going to try to creep to level 3 DK now, or if he's going to go right across.
I feel like if he goes across, he's just overextending too much. CrunCher just gets away with murder with the surround. I mean, it's a huge surround. Buys him so much time. And I think you just got to creep now if you're INSUP and fight for another day. But now, like, the crippling thought of, oh, I just let this human get the expansion. I mean, if I let him get the tech, am I looking at night gyros? We know that INSUP isn't that confident playing against this, right? He said it many, many times on his stream. He said it a lot publicly. So I think maybe he wants to keep the harass up, because if you let that human get the tier 3, you just get in a lot of trouble.
Absolutely, yeah. He wants to pressure, he wants to slow down the expansion, and yeah, like you said, most importantly, slow down the tech. So dealing damage to the lumber economy in the way of killing peasants, canceling maybe that Arcane Tower coming up that he might be able to do right now with those 2 Fiends. That's going to be crucial for INSUP, but CrunCher well aware. Focus fire on the Archmage, though, that is kind of a little bit of a disadvantage currently for CrunCher, because of course the DK has Aura. He's got that Cloak of Shadows. He's going to be able to get away if he's in danger. The Archmage of CrunCher is not going to be so lucky.
Yeah, and just one Arcane's kind of puzzling. I mean, CrunCher might have to put up more defenses. There's a 3rd Fiend coming in, and INSUP could put more damage on, especially tier 2. Now, the Slaughterhouse timing doesn't look too bad. Lich coming across as well. Could see that statue sooner rather than later. So I'd like to see CrunCher maybe put on a little bit more harassment, because we know the game plan is going to be INSUP going just straight tier 3, keep pushing, keep the pressure on. Good micro so far from INSUP. Would love to see that statue, which he should build as soon as the Slaughterhouse is up. But I think CrunCher's going to need a lot more defenses for the static expansion. CrunCher with the AM so low as well. Like a Nova would be so juicy here.
And the Nova's on the way. The Lich just now came out. It's going to be a delayed tier 3 for iNSUP, which is the Happy way of doing things. Happy likes to get 4 or 5 Fiends and a statue before attacking the tier 3. Likes to delay that to do some more damage. So that's what we're going to see from iNSUP. And the Footmen are low. The Footmen have no defend quite yet. CrunCher's now upgrading defend. He just started, but it's going to be a little bit of time before he can actually win the fight, especially once the Lich is here. So CrunCher's going to play very defensively for now. This is iNSUP's time to capitalize.
Yeah, 100%. Pass those claws over the Lich and just get some damage on. Lich comes back over. We have Nova now online, and here comes the tower starting to go for CrunCher. But this is iNSUP's window to kill a lot of peasants and a lot of footmen and open up that window for his tier 3.
Oh, 2 footmen low. Coil Nova on the Archmage is trying to force a town portal, but I think the better play, maybe he might be able to force a TP. Okay, I'll wait to say what the better play might have been, but a Fiend gonna go perhaps down, so close to losing so much for iNSUP, but he gets away, kills 2 footmen. Okay, now I can say what the better play might have been. I think just killing footmen here is the better play, but maybe he can still force that TP. CrunCher has to get to his shop, and then maybe TP to his main base. His defend is online now.
Yeah, everything's very low for iNSUP. We're going to need insane micro, but he can stay in this fight if he does keep moving everything back. The problem's going to be chasing those footies, right? He's diving in a bit. The Arcane soaking up a lot of the mana, but now the first statue's on the way, and he could keep this pressure on. There's not a lot of footies here, and I would love to maybe see 2 Fiends wrap around and try to target that tower that's going up, or maybe a couple of the towers. Just slow this down. We see Happy do that. Really good undead. Slow down the towers, and then your tier 3 timing does look a lot better.
The statue value as iNSUP goes in. He's going to force a TP. CrunCher needs to buy a scroll, though, before he town portals. Buy the scroll. Buy the scroll. He didn't buy the scroll.
Oh, here we go. 1 tower going to go down. This is a good window for iNSUP. A very good window for iNSUP. The statue's healing up in the back, and another guard tower trying to go up, but he could just ping that away. There's no way that gets mass repaired in time. And now you're just left with an Arcane. Oh, am I wrong?
iNSUP is doing some serious damage here, Ricky. This is sick, and he needs to get to the shop. It was a massive mistake. 2 Fiend shots. Okay, 1 more. He's 18 health, but he didn't make it to the shop in time. He's going to have to build another shop at his main base, I'm afraid. The tech is soon to be done. He could buy a potion, but iNSUP's almost tier 3. This is just the appetizer to the pressure from iNSUP, Ricky.
Second statue comes in. There's the mana with the health, and CrunCher does hit tier 2, so I'd love to see a fast Mountain King if you're going to go for it. He does pump it out right away, straight to tier 3, so he knows what his play is. I need to get to tier 3 as fast as I can. I'm taking a lot of damage here, but the statue, look at those Fiends heal back up, and now they're starting to farm in more and more footies. This is looking good for iNSUP. This is not looking bad at all. I mean, this Archmage still can't get to the shop. Coil isn't online, but he could just focus fire, and oh my god, he gets a health pot so quickly.
Yeah, CrunCher needed to do that. There was 2 plays he had. He needed to either do that, or he needed to get backpack and buy it on a footman, but he does the riskier play, gets away with it. There's almost a Nova and a Coil, though. Uh-oh, there's almost a Nova and a Coil, Ricky.
Yeah, he needs to get out of the range, and iNSUP needs to make sure that he's out of that Arcane range, which is good. Luckily for CrunCher, he doesn't have level 3 DK, right? Because that nuke would be nutty, but still some good damage. It keeps the tower count down, and right now CrunCher holds for a bit, and we're seeing Arcane Sanctum Workshop. Okay, so we know exactly what we're going to go into here on tier 3.
This is the backpack being researched. The DK is going to get level 3 off this camp. He's going to be able to get his Pit Lord. This is probably as good of a position as we've seen iNSUP in against CrunCher this early into a series. He's got to get level 3 DK, though. He's got to not lose too much right now. Uses that Coil. There's 1 more Coil, but this Fiend's going to fall. Oh, CrunCher's just capitalizing on this small timing window he has before the orb is online.
Yeah, these bolts are so important without the Frost Armor Cane. If Frost Armor comes in now, there's the Coil, and there's some semblance of micro for iNSUP. It's very hard to micro with the bolt, but still, only 1 Coil line. That's 2 Fiends going down, and CrunCher, I mean, that's more than a good trade. That's very, very good. That kind of opens the map entirely for him, and iNSUP now looking like he doesn't have that map advantage that he has anymore. He's got to wait for tier 3. Tier 3's online. He grabs an orb. Love to see that 3rd hero in Destroyer form, and then just go. Yeah. But has he done enough? I think the DK being level 2 still is still a problem, and CrunCher makes sure of that by getting rid of the rest of the turtles.
Yeah, that was such a perfect play by CrunCher to not... A lot of human players would have just crept passively. They might have called militia and gone for their lab there, maybe go for a couple of green camps, but CrunCher knows iNSUP is not as strong as he will be. He needs to go back and get that orb. He needs to wait for the gold to get his Pit Lord. He knows it so well that he just pressures the creeping, kills 2 Fiends, and now this timing is not only significantly slower, but it's also much weaker because of those 2 Fiend losses, but still a really good shot for iNSUP to do some more damage here.
Going for the Arcane, first of all. Rain of Fire, very good with the Nova. And CrunCher's going to be forced to mass repair this. The Arcane's very, very important. There's some good peasants going down. Yeah, there's the level 3. And with the 5th Fiend coming online, I think this is a really good position for iNSUP. I mean, CrunCher's at 57 supply, don't get me wrong. The Paladin's coming out. He's bought his way to tier 3. But iNSUP right now, he can go for these towers, go for more peasants, and then hopefully just kite CrunCher's army. I mean, this Mountain King's still level 1, and the Paladin's going to be level 1 as well.
There's only one coil, though, and the statue got its mana drained by the Destroyer. I think a second Destroyer morph would be probably the wisest choice right now for iNSUP to try to bust these towers open. Yeah, he's only got one coil. He's soon to have 2 coils, but CrunCher's really bought a lot of time. He might lose all these peasants, but soon he's going to have knights. Soon he's going to have enough anti-air. So iNSUP still has to do some damage right here, right now.
But so far, the Expo's not mining. Everything looks pretty good. 58 supply against 50. iNSUP could break if he wants to, but right now he's trying to bank, trying to get those statues back up. So he's got to kind of build this army, which is kind of wonky. There comes the big push now. The peasants are going to start being a big nuisance, and this is where CrunCher wants to get everything on top and just chip away. If I can get some fiends and just buy myself more time. Nice coil from iNSUP. That's going to be the last one, though. And a surround on one fiend and the bolt on the other. CrunCher's looking to get some damage done. One fiend going to go down. Maybe a second. Oh, a breaker block. Oh, breaker block. Holy light coming in. CrunCher getting some trades on the way out.
Yeah, 2 fiends going down. Of course, CrunCher's taking some losses as well, but it's not important for CrunCher to save every unit here. It's just important for him to hold on, and then the Knight Gyro will take over. There's, again, no coils, in the statue finally has some mana, but the Pit Lord is so low. Another Holy Light could secure it. So close. iNSUP on the knife's edge with a couple of these moves here, but the fact that he's backing away now is all CrunCher wants, I say again, and the statue taking a lot of damage. And CrunCher has secured the expansion at last. Man, it was so close for iNSUP to break that Expo. So close.
It was a really good timing, and I thought iNSUP was going to have it, but now CrunCher 65 supply, expansion back and secured, and CrunCher's going to be looking to step all over him now. Pit Lord level 1, very low. Temple of the Damned coming, and these Banshees would be great, but, I mean, Master Training's a long ways away, Carson. And I don't think CrunCher's going to want to give him that, and even if he does, by the time he gets Banshees to fight, CrunCher's gonna be stealing all these camps across the map. So there's like 2 oranges, a red, another orange in the mid. There's so much here that CrunCher would want. Definitely iNSUP, but he's constantly getting pushed back to his base.
Yeah, CrunCher playing this smartly too. Again, this is a position where a lot of humans might just back off and creep passively because they've held their expansion. But CrunCher knows iNSUP wants to power creep. He's not going to be re-pushing anytime soon, and he knows that iNSUP can creep much faster. So CrunCher's just aggressively stealing some camps away while he has a little bit of a stronger army. He's not going to give iNSUP any room to breathe now.
Yeah, steals the pendant from that knoll, too. Just CrunCher getting away with murder right now. And these footies, yeah, he's going to start killing these footies. He doesn't need them anymore. And he's got a lot of knights to secure them. They're just free XP at this point. iNSUP's still at 50 supply banking, and there's no room for an expansion, nothing like that. I mean, he's going to be just banking on these Banshees. I mean, 3 good Banshees with Master Training. You steal some knights, you could swing this fight, but it's still very dicey. And you know CrunCher's going to be looking to bolt some of those Banshees and slow this down.
They're both going to be fighting over the... Yeah, I think the Banshees are the best thing that he can do, and just creeping. He's not going to be able to break that expansion, so he's doing everything he can. He just needs to get strong heroes and a strong army and not allow CrunCher to creep like 4-3-3, for instance. Once the human gets those crazy high-level heroes, it's close to impossible for the undead on one base to really be able to win a fight. So if he can steal away the camps, not allow CrunCher to bully him as much as he has been, and creep himself, he'll be in a decent spot. But dodged Fiend now exposed, and that's a surround.
This is a tough position to be in. I mean, you don't have a TP either, so you can't get out. I love that CrunCher just jumped all over these units. He just kind of beelined it past them to try to just get on top, and right now one Fiend going to pay the price. These are crucial units for iNSUP, and CrunCher's willing to trade at this point. Knights on the front line, 1-1, another bolt comes in. What do? Coil comes in, but look at the damage on the Knights, Carson. It outweighs all of it, and that's even without an orb.
Yeah, quite crazy damage, and the Destroyer taking quite a bit of damage as well. Not going to fall, but there comes a point in the Flying Machine numbers where the Destroyers just have no value any longer. You kind of just need the Fiend, Statue, Abomination, Banshee, which are now going to Master Training, but iNSUP just not allowed to breathe at all. He's not allowed to get Lich level 3, Pit Lord level 2. CrunCher's just continuing to farm Fiends here. Maybe going to farm a Pit Lord. There is a coil, however, to save this big boy.
Yeah, you got to go back. I mean, even if the Banshees do come out, you need time to gain some mana on that before they can really use the possessions in the late game. CrunCher as well, he's got a good Flying Machine count. He's got good Knights. I mean, the upgrades, he's kind of stopped at 1-1, but they're still kind of, okay, there's the 2-1 coming in, halfway done. Yep. So everything's looking pretty good for CrunCher. And CrunCher doesn't really need to creep. I mean, he's containing iNSUP.
Yeah. Well, the only way INSUP can maybe equalize the economy would be to not allow CrunCher to creep while also taking away camps and selling the items. Then he could maybe be even in economy. A sort goes down to the creeps a little bit. Unfortunate there for CrunCher, but he's still 72 supply against 55. INSUP waiting for the Banshees still. The Master Training about to finish. Yeah, he just doesn't have the army quite yet, and he's still got to wait. He doesn't want to fight at an anti-timing INSUP. He wants to wait for the Banshees.
Yeah, I think that's the right call. I do like that he's kiting and not diving in too much, taking these bad fights. INSUP's not doing a bad job buying time. I mean, he's had to buy about 3 minutes of time here, so it's not too bad. But another jump on CrunCher. The bolt comes in on the Fiend. The coil's in. Frost Armor, very good. Going to be able to micro this away. And now INSUP's goal, just run Rudolph.
Yeah.
Got to get out of here.
Doing a little bit of damage. He didn't manage to dwindle any of those flying machine numbers, but he could try to kill a couple next time he does that little kiting maneuver. There's a level 2 on the Pit Lord. Almost level 3 on the Lich. The Paladin and the Mountain King not yet level 3 themselves, so still some potential for big nukes on perhaps the Paladin himself or the Archmage before the level 2 Holy Light comes in. There's still a couple of camps at the bottom, and CrunCher's looking to creep them. That's why INSUP's trying to not give any space to him either.
I like this. Another bolt on the Lich, but INSUP is eyeing that Nova coil. Oh, he just ate all of his Lich mana. Oh! Lich got to get out of there. Coil.
The flying machines are all out of position, but INSUP didn't have the opportunity to kill them all. See, if you can kill all the flying machines, he could morph 3 destroyers and jump on these knights and take a really good fight. But for now, the Lich has anti-magic shell, but is trying to run away. And when he's running away, he's not getting orb shots on this army. There's almost a bolt. Now there's a bolt on the Mountain King, and this Lich might be falling. A couple of units are dying for CrunCher. A coil last second to save the Lich, but it's still surrounded.
Yeah, this Lich is going to go down. I thought INSUP was trading pretty well, but losing that Lich, I mean, you don't want to see that, but the flying machine's just being so annoying. Now the Banshee count's pretty high, but now he's got to wait for that Lich.
Yeah.
And CrunCher's just giving him no more time. There goes the Banshee. Another one might get bolted. Mountain King out of mana for now. And I think CrunCher just actually wants to take this. You don't have Orb of Corruption? Well, I'm just going to dive right in.
Oh, the surround on the Pit Lord now to probably seal the deal. The Cloak could be passed, but it won't be. The Pit Lord's going to fall level 3, and the Mountain King staff out on that Knight. Now Possession coming through after the staff was used. So one Knight will see the undead side of things for now, but it's only one Knight, and there's still 82 supply for CrunCher.
Yeah, everything's looking pretty good for the human player. CrunCher being very patient. I mean, this Paladin's almost level 3 as well. Archmage level 4. The Brilliant Aura is helping out so much, and CrunCher's not wasting any of his bolts. He sees a Fiend, he bolts a Fiend. It's that simple. Yeah. He's just going straight. I know I have my expansion. I know every unit to you is so important, including the DK Cloak. I mean, Health Pot Cloak, but I mean, how do you get out? How do you get out?
Yeah, of course, there is flying machines for the Cloak as well. They were out of position for a little bit, but they could just be used, and now the Death Knight going to fall, and we're gonna see the GG very soon. I'm sure one Knight taking a lot of damage as well. INSUP trying to hold on. Like I said earlier, this is such a great game from him in the early game. It was just CrunCher had a couple of really nice plays, really nice creep jacks to come back, but INSUP did so much damage in the early game, Ricky. He really, if he continues this sort of form, there could definitely be a position where CrunCher does not get that potion and save his Archmage and hold on.
I gotta say, it was the closest I've ever seen INSUP actually in the early game, and it's gonna make for a spicy series, and I think that's why INSUP's staying in it, because he knows, like, listen, I lost my DK and my Lich, don't get me wrong, but I could still play this game, and he's in an undead base, and maybe he's feeling a little confident. Yeah, I mean, maybe he's feeling a little confident right now. The DK is being built in. The Lich is pumping out a lot of damage. Another Breaker might go down for this. Destroyer still in the air, so any slows are not a factor. The bolts still are, and the mana regen is nuts. Yeah. Bunch more Fiends about to go down. There goes the second one. A bolt's going to secure a third. And now INSUP, yeah, you're inside your base, and it's all comfy, but this Mountain King is just destroying.
Yeah, CrunCher doesn't even have a town portal this whole time either. Another Knight could be staffed out. CrunCher kills the Banshee instead, and yeah, INSUP's getting some kills, but he's just not trading favorably here, and let's remember it's 2 base for CrunCher. GG will be called, and a nice game won, but the favorite prevails, at least for now in this series.
Ooh, wild opening, and I guess it, the early game won CrunCher the game. He was calm, he was collected, he didn't do any big mistakes, he defended this first push really, really well, and INSUP walked into that surround with peasants and a creep. Ay. That was the neck breaker here. This is the time to do damage. This is where your always in the human's face. This is where the human is weak. This is where you're so strong with the Rock of Necromancy and coils. You want to kill, 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 get more skeletons, kill even more, get even more skeletons, crush the expansion, and delay this tier 3 as long as possible. There might have been a second coming possible with that Pit Lord, an even better one, if he's not losing the 2 fiends in the middle as well. This super narrow timing where the Mountain King can actually do a lot of damage. CrunCher finds that timing, punishes iNSUP hard, and once the human is online, you can't disconnect him anymore. And that's how CrunCher took that one, but I like the fighting spirit by iNSUP. I felt the longer the game goes, the better his micro becomes. His coils were on time, the anti-magic shells were there, etc, etc. Everything a little shaky in the beginning, so hopefully iNSUP found his rhythm here and is even stronger on map number 2. We throw you guys into a little break and then we see how this semi-final continues. It's the 1-0 lead for the regional champion. CrunCher takes map number 1, but you guys said it in the cast and I couldn't agree more. This is the most competitive iNSUP we've ever seen. So now, he got it on the map. Does he have it in his head as well to keep it together, to wipe this away and start from scratch?
Oh, 100%. 100%. I mean, that's a series where you go into, and it's probably the best game that iNSUPE's ever played against CrunCher besides taking a map, actually, you know what I mean? From being on the back foot for most of these seasons. So I definitely think that iNSUPE is still fired up. I think he's got a lot of people supporting him and telling him the same thing. And CrunCher, I mean, the good thing that he did was tech straight away and keep that pressure going, because iNSUPE definitely had a window where he could have shut him down early. So if you're iNSUPE, keep your head up, keep your stick on the ice, and win hockey games.
And if you remember this so important game between iNSUPE and Doug, the first game was an absolute disaster, and he came back from that. So apparently he learned a thing or two in these situations, but there is pressure on him. If CrunCher wins the series, he moves away in the EPT points as well. And if you have 3 match points against you, against a guy like CrunCher, that is almost a mission impossible, as we oftentimes see it in the European region as well. Going in to map number 2, this is CrunCher's first pick, this Last Refuge.
Still got a lot of series left, though. You know, when you have those Dragon Ball Z episodes, which are like 5 episodes, of them just charging, like we're only on episode 3, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're on episode 3 of 5 of charge ups. You know, when we finally get past game 2, you know, maybe they'll actually start brawling it out, because they're still just charging it up, and iNSUPE looked like he's getting a little warmed up there. So we'll see.
Yeah, this is like Zarbon versus Vegeta, the first fight. You know, Vegeta being iNSUPE, getting taken down, but as soon as Vegeta gets that Zenkai boost, he destroys him, right? So this could be a Zenkai boosted iNSUPE. I love the this is anime. Yeah, is that an anime or a manga?
Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah, is that a manga or an anime? Someone in the chat's gonna correct this anyway, but
well, anime is like a video format. Manga, I think, is like a book format or like a comic book. Right?
You're a book of wisdom, my friend.
Thank you. Tome of knowledge.
Exactly. The good thing about CrunCher, I mean, he's going to pick this map because he creeps it like a beast. Fastest level 3 in the West. CrunCher doesn't mess around. He goes straight for the Merc camp, and he could go for an expansion again. I think if he's going to play this series going into expansion play, he's probably going to keep it going throughout. But he knows that iNSUPE can put that kind of pressure on, so maybe more commitment towards towers, or he just plays greedy again. I mean, the only real problem was CrunCher took a lot of damage as Archmage, and he was just playing Possum the whole time, right? Like, do I go to the shop? Do I not go to the shop? So yeah, we'll see how he does here. But yeah, CrunCher's going to go creep out the green, and then probably go fast level 2. iNSUPE going to creep up as well. But I do think that the creeping advantage is going to go to CrunCher.
Interesting use of the Acolyte from iNSUPE. He actually sacks it to the green camp just to get earlier skeletons. I'm not sure if that's standard now. If CrunCher pulls the rock golem, mud golem's getting involved. We've seen this before on this map. He's also pulled the Murloc, taking some damage on the footman, but it's making it quite annoying for iNSUPE currently.
Yeah, that is really annoying. I mean, your skellies take a lot of damage. Ooh, yeah, the footy slowed. Oh, that's wow, little unlucko. I mean, the timings. Do you think he knows?
It's unfortunate, right? Because iNSUPE even wastes a little bit of time going for it, and he definitely should have gone for it. I believe that's the right play to go for that kill, but just the perfect timing on the slow. I understand that feeling sometimes. It's like, oh, everything's just going right for him, but definitely everything has gone right for CrunCher so far in this early game, and he's now going to go for his expansion. iNSUPE going to try to get level 2 before pressuring, and we'll see what his next item will be from the Priest.
We see how slowed down iNSUPE's creeping is, though. CrunCher's going to have full reign of this expansion. He's going to get the XP, and he's going to be able to put his expansion down before iNSUPE can get there. So not going to be the same level of harassment where we see that DK and the skeletons raining down early. CrunCher's going to get this for free, and I do think that this is probably the best timing for iNSUPE to push. But instead, he's going to go for that level 2, like you said. He gets a replenishment potion, decent item.
Yep.
Do you just go for level 3 now and just creep up?
You got to get some damage done, right? I feel like you at least got to get a couple of peasants. He managed to get 2 last game, and we see how much that helped him with his timing. You know, he managed to cancel the second tower and pressured the expansion a ton. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him buy another rod and go for at least a little bit of damage. The arcane towers, I feel, is going to be up on time, though. And CrunCher's going to be level 3 as well. Is this really the best way to play this for iNSUPE? Is to take both camps and go across, because it feels like CrunCher is just so safe and cozy right now with his body pillow.
Yeah, this is really good. I mean, waifu holding him nice and tight.
Yeah,
everything's looking really good. Level 3 Archmage is like beauty, especially if you can put damage on the Fiend, damage on the DK. iNSUP will get some peasants killed. Don't get me wrong. He will get some value here. He's got a fresh Skelly Rod as well. But CrunCher can literally stand here and just right-click everything.
Yeah, I think 2-3 peasants is definitely acceptable, but the Fiend taking so much damage. And the skeletons are being dealt with. The Arcane Tower up, so 2 peasants have fallen so far, but the Fiend gonna have to be coiled. There's one more coil for iNSUP, though. He could go back in and try to get 1 or 2 more peasants. I think that would be a great play for him. He's gonna be very close to level 3. We saw that being an issue last game, of course, Ricky, so maybe the fact he crept a little bit more will help him with that tier 3 timing.
Oh, this is interesting. iNSUP's actually going to the main base. And he's got skeletons, and there's low peasants here, no tower. This is actually a good idea if he commits. I don't think he really knows the position that he's put himself in. Maybe he thinks there's an arcane there, or maybe he's just trying to wrap around town because he knows those skellies would die right off the bat. But 2 skellies in the main base and a coil could be used offensively if he's in range. Okay, the range goes away, but I do like this decision-making from iNSUP. He wants to keep the pressure on, and this at least keeps CrunCher locked in.
CrunCher is so aware, though. He calls Militia as soon as he sees that Death Knight and those Fiends come into range of his main base. Doesn't lose, like you said, to that coil on that low HP peasant. It was out of range of the coil. So CrunCher again defends. Again, CrunCher in position just to defend this wraparound. It was a little bit telegraphed from iNSUP, but still CrunCher riding blind, but honestly countering everything perfectly. And tier 3 is immediately tech. That's an adjustment iNSUP's made from last game, not prioritizing Fiends and statues on tier 2 because he just wasn't able to get a ton of damage done to this expansion yet. He just wants tier 3 quicker.
Yeah, I wonder if iNSUP's going to commit to this. 3 Fiends could at least go for the tower, but he's got a lot of footies here, and CrunCher's kept a lot of footies alive. Defend being researched as well, so I do think everything's looking pretty peachy for CrunCher. And if you are iNSUP, you got 3 Fiends and Skellies, maybe just cut your losses in creeping. But look at this. CrunCher goes, oh, you haven't come up to my expansion? Now I'm going to come to you. Like the perfect plays here. Like he's been keeping tabs on iNSUP the whole time. Yeah,
CrunCher's just playing this beautifully. It got a little bit dicey for him last game, of course. Even though CrunCher made some nice plays and iNSUP made some mistakes, iNSUP was still able to find those windows to deal damage. Whereas this game, it just seems like CrunCher is just perfectly positioned. It might have something to do with the map, but, you know, so far, iNSUP's not going to get anything done in this mid game.
No, Lich going to help out. He'll at least be able to get the rest of this camp. Oh, CrunCher's still fighting for every last hit. And the DK might get level 3 as well, especially if he commits to this shop, which I think he should. But CrunCher, at this time, almost tier 2. I mean, the tech timings look very good for the human player. Tier 3 is about to hit online for iNSUP. We can still see that timing.
Look at this. He's not committing the footman, and this is something I love human players to do, to not overextend their footman. He's doing just as much with the Archmage and the Water Elementals as he would do with all the footmen, only he's not losing footman health and footman lives for this. He's instead just using them. Now he's going to use them to start creeping. He can use them to go into a hit into the main base. We see CrunCher buys that Staff of Teleportation. So if iNSUP goes for the pressure at tier 3, which he is now going for, he can run those footmen into the main base and actually staff into the main base as well behind that gold mine. So iNSUP has the timing to do some damage, but CrunCher is well prepared to go for the counterattack. The tower is a little bit late in the main base, though.
Yeah, tower's a little bit late, and I only see a Rax here. Could we be seeing workshops get placed down right away? I mean, a lot of towers. It looks like CrunCher wants to play the long game. Archmage getting a little bit of trouble there, but he's going to be able to invuln. Might have to use the staff. He might be forced to TP out. Ooh, the iNSUP surround. Nice.
Nicely done by iNSUP. And the footmen go into the main base. Now, CrunCher's going to have to rebuy Town Portal, buy a potion, and staff to that gold mine now, most likely. Yeah, he's going to do it, but he also has a heal scroll, but he's a very low Archmage right now. So he's going to do some damage, but this isn't as effective as it could be. It's going to be double Town Portals and heal scroll and invuln and scroll regeneration used to defend this, or used to do this aggression for CrunCher.
And he's going to have to TP out. Yeah, it's just it's not the best trade, not the type that he wanted. And for iNSUP, you're going to force a lot of items out right now and get some footies on the way out as well.
Archmage has to TP in the back. Okay, he does TP in the back. Has to be careful still, though. There's a Nova available.
Yeah, he needs to get that Lich over. Lich is in range. Lich is in range.
Potion. Uses it. Oh my god, there's so many items. Okay, so far, 2 Town Portals, Scroll Regeneration, Potion, Staff, Heal Scroll, Invuln. That's all been used for CrunCher, and he's gotten, I think, 1 ghoul, 2 ghouls in exchange. That's it.
That's a lot of items. That's a lot of it. That's going to slow down your knights. Everything. Nice Nova from iNSUP as well. And here comes the double statue from iNSUP. He wants to put the pressure on. And this Archmage, is looking like a glass cannon right now. Ends up finding that window again. Now, the thing, yeah, the Sim City is really good for CrunCher's expansion. And now this Mountain King's going to come out. So I'm not as optimistic, but level 3 DK is good. Wanna Mastering, a good item to have as well. But again, like he can get the shop, and iNSUP is threatening this. Mountain King, he can't meet this army.
Yeah, I mean, iNSUP could go towards the main base. That's something he hasn't looked towards, and it's difficult to do on a map like Last Refuge just because of how it's built, this map. But he could go into the main base. There's only 2 towers there, whereas there's 4 at the expansion. Killing the shop would be good because it would deny, of course, the staff and the orb. But for now, it's going to be hard to bust the Sim City. But again, like you said, iNSUP is finding this window. There is some glimmers of hope in here. He's going early for the Temple of the Damned this time to get those Banshees online quicker. And he's still going to be able to find some damage.
Yeah, I love the early Temple of the Damned. I think that's brilliant. Still got the 5 Fiends. Everything's looking good. The Mountain King has no space to do anything.
Yeah.
This Breaker might take up a bit of damage. This is all just chipping away, and this is all gravy for iNSUP. There's no value here from CrunCher anymore. He's just holding, but like, again, he's going to be pumping out those Knights, but we already see the economic damage that all those items brought in. I mean, CrunCher's broke right now.
Yeah, so low on gold. It's crazy. Yeah, he started Knight. He has started Knight and the Paladin, so he's gotten what he needs. He couldn't afford that staff quite yet, but he got the orb. So CrunCher's at least got enough for 1 production cycle, but is he going to have enough for the next? Is he going to have enough for the breakers that he needs?
Do you think he should have banked a bit?
It's tough to say because you put yourself in this position. Look at the army outside your expansion. Are you wanting to break upkeep, or are you wanting to hold on and bank? Like, it's a tough decision because look at this undead army. Although CrunCher's probably very confident overall in this series, I think that would take a lot of confidence to not break upkeep here.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's a really good point. This is a very, very scary army. A lot of Fiends. Statue starting to get a little bit low. Militia Call just to get a little bit of semblance as this Paladin comes out. So CrunCher noticing these windows. He's going to be Holy Lighting, bolting a bunch of these Fiends. iNSUP, he's got a lot of mana on his DK.
So much, yeah. No TP, though, so he's got to be careful. No TP, no invulns. The statues have mana this time around. Remember, they didn't last game. One statue a little bit surrounded. Does actually lock it in, but Destroyer morphed. So far, iNSUP's kept everything alive. He didn't lose those 2 Fiends like he had previously. So this is pretty nice for iNSUP. He can continue this pressure. Dare I say this is looking better than last did for iNSUP.
This is looking amazing for iNSUP right now. He's got full map control. Tri-Hero's online for CrunCher, but he can't creep anything. He's going to go for the Merc Camp. That's about it, but this could open, good timing for iNSUP to maybe grab a 3rd hero, go for some reds, start to go into that the Banshees. You know what CrunCher's going to go for. He wants Mass Knights. So how do you counter that? Just get some Banshees, man. Get those hero levels up and just grab some Banshees and have a good time. Throw some Jack Daniels in that pool and splash around. Put your flip-flops on.
I think he's more of a Jameson's guy, though, isn't he?
That's true. He is a Jameson's man, yeah. Put on your water wings and go for a little dip. iNSUP's looking really good in this game.
One day I'm going to get you to do a belly flop into a pool for me, Rick. One day. You bet.
I don't think there's a big enough pool size, my friend.
Not enough water in that bad boy, eh?
Yeah, I need like an Olympic-sized pool to get a good splash. I was very good at that, even when I was a little guy. I
Getting a good splash or diving?
Yeah, I'm a good splasher. I'm not a good diver. Divers kind of scares me. Because if I hit the bottom, I don't know, I kind of get scared,
Well, that's what the water's for, Rick.
I can pencil dive.
Nice, well done.
Yeah, I can stick the landing on that, but belly flop and oh yeah, I crush it. This is a really good camp for iNSUP. Good red camp. Love to see a coil thrown on here. Really good item. Cactus Pipe would be money. Medallion, not bad at all. Pass that over to the Lich. Have a good time. These are good items. I gotta say, I'm really impressed with iNSUP. He's definitely improved in this matchup by a very large margin since the last time these two have met.
Yeah, because it's not as though CrunCher's making a ton of mistakes either. iNSUP is just finding a lot of windows to do damage. So I'm very, very impressed by iNSUP. It's not CrunCher playing sloppily at all. It's just iNSUP making strides. There's been positions in the past where iNSUP's been at this stage in the game, and he's just been taking so much economic damage. He's been getting Blizzard harassed, but now he's in a good position. The supply is dead even, and the expansion is still exposed.
Yeah, I do disagree with letting CrunCher get this this red camp. I mean, Sobi Mask on the Mountain King as well. Great item, but at the end of the day, like you said, if the supplies are even, okay, not a great item for CrunCher, but if the supplies are even, then these Banshees could actually turn the tide in this fight.
Yeah, absolutely. They have possession too, and that means 2 Knights. That means the supply swings in favor of the undead. And the Paladin get 3. The Paladin and the Mountain King are pretty much one camp off level 3-3. So CrunCher's now sacrificing some economy from his expansion. It's not currently mining just to get 3-3, and then he's going to Town Portal in. That's where iNSUP has to win the fight. If he doesn't win the fight right there, it's going to be very rough for him.
Yeah, I'm surprised no third hero either. He's just sticking with DK and Lich. Would have loved to see maybe a Dark Ranger, maybe a Pit Lord, some semblance of a third army, but he's doing a lot of damage in the expansion and just a quick TP out. I love to see that. He wants to see what CrunCher. What do you have? What do you have? Oh, the TP's bad. Okay, the Fiend's got to get out. Those units were really out of position.
Oh, anti-magic. Gonna at least be able to save that Banshee, I think, but the Fiend might just get bolted regardless of the not taking damage from the bolt. CrunCher wants both, it looks like. That's what the Knight movement is going for. Yeah, I feel like iNSUP could have fought there, but I do respect him Town Portaling out. He knows he did a lot of damage. He didn't manage to kill all the peasants, though. So now CrunCher is going to pull ahead slightly in supply, but he knows he's also got a lot of camps close by to his base, or at least 2 big boys. He's going to get a Book of the Dead, which is pretty awful, honestly, but his army's still very menacing, iNSUP.
Yeah, but he's going after 3-3-3 human now. These fights will be pretty even. It's going to come down to the Banshees. It's also going to come down to if these Knights can get on top of these Fiends. We could see some early fast Fiends go down. iNSUP still has to be careful, but bad position for CrunCher, and it's always a good position for CrunCher. He's going to creep jack him at the Merc camp. Bolt comes in. Can he get on top of this? Looks like he's going to steal the Rock Golem. iNSUP can't coil this. He's got to last hit it. Boots on the Mountain King. He's going to steal the item and run. Does he have staff on any of his items? Yeah, he's got 2 staffs. 2 staves.
Yep, that's right. I think that's the right way to say it. There's no Dispel, actually. No Adept on these priests to get rid of the Book of the Dead. There is those double staves to get these Knights out of here. 1 Banshee trade for 1 Knight. Definitely favorable for the Undead. The Destroyer probably going to fall to the Flying Machines. There is almost a coil for it, but another Banshee falls. iNSUP maybe flubbing a little bit of the micro there. A couple of units out of position for a second.
Yeah, a bunch of the Banshees just kind of ran on the front line and they end up losing their lives. And I mean, he's still got a heavy Banshee count. The statue in the back providing more mana. I would love to see maybe the Fiends buffer with the DK and then grab the Knights from there. But just like willy-nilly running those Banshees up, I mean, CrunCher's going to stop that. It's very, very predictable, I have to say, from iNSUP so far. I would like to see a little bit better engages.
DK5, though, which is very, very nice, and the Lich will soon follow with a couple more fights, and the supply advantage in iNSUP's favor yet again. So this is quite a nice game. CrunCher going for the trademark AKM single peasant expand right now at the red camp, and that's not a big investment. If it gets up, it'll be nice, and that's kind of what CrunCher needs. He's getting to the point where he does kind of need 3 bases to 1 because iNSUP continuously trades pretty favorably, and that's why the supply is advantage iNSUP currently.
Yeah, iNSUP's all over the place right now. I mean, he's pulling the camp and trying to run away, but now it looks like a creep jack for iNSUP. Goes right after the Paladin. Good nukage. Where are those Banshees? Banshees are up front. I mean, the Knights are up front too. They could definitely take a good engage if you're iNSUP. He goes for 1. Another possession could be insane right now. Oh, staff on the Knight. That was just about to be taken. What a play, and now a bunch of Fiends are going down. I don't think iNSUP inspected that. Now he's a little rattled, a little frazzled. Bunch of Fiends going down, and that's what we're talking about, going for those fast 2 Fiend pickoffs level 4 on the Archmage. Uh-oh. Not the good fight that iNSUP wanted.
Yeah, the double staff really saves CrunCher there. He trades 2 Fiends for 2 Knights, and then at the end of the fight gets a Banshee and 2 more Fiends. I think even the Destroyer. No, the Destroyer did live, but and left actually. But CrunCher.
Yeah, he leaved it and he lived it.
He left and leaved it.
100%.
CrunCher's gonna pull ahead and supply now. It was blizzarding all over the place, Rick. What do you think about that?
Yeah, not a good engagement. I didn't like it. Only a mana pawn on this DK too, and now you're stuck on just DK Lich, exposed heroes, invuln on the Lich, but not as good of an engage as we could have got. I gotta say, that was a crazy double staff on those Knights, brother. Holy lick.
So much value.
Yeah.
They've already paid for themselves. All you do is save 1 Knight with 1 staff. They've already paid for themselves. That's why it's so impactful to buy the staff as quickly as you can. The Destroyer taking a lot of damage. There is an invuln on the Lich this time. And again, iNSUP engaging into creeps and CrunCher's army at the same time. He's still got a strong army, but now 63 against 71 as the statue falls to make it 60. A couple of Flying Machines out of position, but the clap deals with the anti-magic shield, and now it's getting very rough for iNSUP.
Oh, man, Manapot using the Mountain King. He wants more. He wants way more. Bolt on the A-bomb, but a nice coil coming in. That's going to be the last one. Even with the Manapot, that's all the juice that's left for iNSUP. And now he's going to be looking to try to, like, get back. But, I mean, CrunCher's killing so much. The A-bomb's going to go down. The statue's going to go down. Oh, no. iNSUP's army's kind of left naked. It's just Fiends, and we've been here before this song and dance sitting in the undead base.
Yeah, and the other expansion's up now too, and GG will be called, and that's a 2-0 for CrunCher. Match point for the American.
The early game is all headaches for the regional champion, but the late game is his aspirin. He fixes it. He's just better in large army fights. iNSUP creates a lot of trouble early on, kills a lot, had some good decisions, but it wasn't a great early, like very early game again. If you compare this to the best of the best in this matchup, they kill a lot more, and I agree with you guys that this creep route and timing of attack, I've seen better and more effective. Earlier attack does more trouble and delays his expansion even more. The second attack was pretty good, the third as well. But that fight at the bottom then again at the mercenary camp, there was a lot of mispositioning going on iNSUP, unfortunately. A little overwhelmed, a little panicking. And then at the bottom right, that was just the end. Way too many fiends killed, Stormbolt after Stormbolt at that time when the human is 3-3-3. Lights out! And we have match points.
I gotta say though, I think iNSUP did everything right. Even going into that bottom right fight at the Knolls, he did possess a lot of knights. That was going to be a fight, a swing fight that he was looking for. I don't think he was thinking that CrunCher was going to staff those knights out in time. And that totally bamboozled him. We saw him taking damage on the fiends, and he was hoping to get that shock and awe, I steal your knights, and then I attack you. But when you don't get the knights and you're still taking the damage, you're like, like you just don't know what to do. And he was losing, I think Carson said it right, 4 fiends on the exit. And that's a big loss. But CrunCher's got an answer for everything, it seems. And we were banking on that fight for iNSUP, and that's the reason why we were kind of saying, like, this is still close, it's still close. But CrunCher's just got the answers, man. It's unbelievable from both players.
It's a very good match indeed. Just a little question, or I'm just asking, can we finally fix the creeps on Last Refuge, Blizzard, or anyone? Please. We send you to a little break. I'm calling down, and then we got match points for the regional champion. Match points, everybody. Not 1, not 2, but 3. This is gonna be tough. But iNSUP showed in the lower bracket final against Duck. He has a heart of a lion. He can claw back. Hopefully he can do that in the best of 5 as well. This is not a situation where he finds himself in too often. Pretty much only at DreamHack and maybe WarCraft Champions finals back when there was still separate between Europe and America. This is last chance. His last chance, and he needs to score hardcore now. Next map, Autumn Leaves. I think it's good picks, because CrunCher said it multiple times, he doesn't know these maps too well. I think it also showed Last Refuge was played way better by CrunCher than Tidehunters was before. So maybe that's the advantage. iNSUP has been grinding these maps since they joined the ladder. And now he has to show what he learned in that time and fix a couple of issues that he showed in this matchup before, in game 1 and in game 2. He has the potential. He just has to go for it and win 3 maps in a row. Not too easy. CrunCher, 1 map away from the grand final. Let's go.
All right, iNSUP's gonna need it. I need all you guys in the chat right now, all right? I need your Roman numerals, okay? Now more than ever, I need your I, XI, VI, VIIV, okay? I need them, and iNSUP needs them most importantly, okay? Is he gonna reverse sweep? Is today the day? Let's see it. Game 3.
Yeah, I think very important. A bit of a change up here from iNSUP, and I kind of like it. Lich first this time on Autumn Leaves, much smaller map. If you go for the expansion, the Lich will bite you. So I do think that this is pretty much standard iNSUP now. He's feeling like he wants to play his actual game.
Yeah.
And, you know, I kind of dig it. CrunCher, by the way, during the break, was singing 3 Doors Down Superman. He's just like singing it very bad, very off tone. Carson, as a musician, you wouldn't have liked any of it. But he's just like, if I go, like, he's just really giving her. So he's having a good time, feeling composed. And maybe we'll talk about that if he is able to win this series. If 3 Doors Down is his way back in, his way to hype him up.
Yeah, we were kind of wondering, at least in private, when iNSUP was going to go for this Lich. I know that CrunCher's aware iNSUP likes this Lich a lot. I was surprised that he actually hadn't done it previously, maybe even to start off the series. But to do it in Game 3, this is definitely something he's comfortable with. So yeah, we were wondering about this. This is something iNSUP does very often, on ladder at least, but we'll see how it works out for him on the big stage.
Yeah, but CrunCher's not playing ladder, right? So he's not playing against Lich first, and the practice partners that he has, they're not doing Lich first either. This is like an iNSUP special, maybe a happy special, right? Crab does it sometimes too, but these aren't people that CrunCher's really playing against. So if CrunCher's not prepared, I mean, we could see some iNSUP surrounds, but sometimes iNSUP does dive in a little too much. Gonna go for the water elemental deny from CrunCher, and he's just diving right in.
The claws help so much for these denies, also the auto attacks. The ghouls are just going for the Archmage. iNSUP's really going for it. It isn't too big of a commitment, but he's gonna lose at least 2 ghouls. Is he gonna force the town portal? He's definitely going to level 2 town portal away, probably to the right of the barracks. And he's going to try to get out. Oh no, the militia also, and one more hit. He does get the Archmage. And that's a big advantage. Only 2 ghouls invested and a level 2 Archmage. And this means there's going to be no chance for an expansion for CrunCher.
Yeah, you can't expand, but also, I mean, CrunCher's pushing right now with footies. He wants to keep the pressure on while this Archmage does come out. Level 2 Archmage, that is, by the way. But iNSUP can creep some big camps around, or he could just go back in. He's still almost got another Nova. This is actually a nice play from iNSUP.
Very well done. I thought that was one of those situations where we're going to see iNSUP overcommit, but definitely not there. That was well warranted. He even gets out of the base. Now what he should do, like, he's kind of pressuring the issue a bit too much by attacking the farm. He should have just backed off and maybe just crept the expansion, crept maybe a green camp or the shop even close by. Because this is all, it's always a question of when you kill their hero early, what do you do with the time that you're given? And this really so far has been, what has he done with the time? He's put a little bit of damage on a couple of footmen.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely... I would have loved to see him creep the expansion as well. Take that camp away. I mean, CrunCher still needs level 3 at the end of the day too, right? And now we see the fast tech from CrunCher. He's deviating. He's not going to go for it. Nice Nova from iNSUP. He wants to put more damage on. But once this Archmage comes out, we're kind of back to even footing. You didn't get that much after damage. Oh, no. A lot of ghouls.
2 ghouls. Yeah, 2 ghouls, but 2 peasants. The Archmage back at last. So, see, at the end of the day, iNSUP had, what, a full minute there to do whatever he wanted on the map, and he instead trades 2 ghouls for 2 peasants. He could have maybe, I don't want to say he'd be able to creep to level 3, but he would have been in 2.7 by now. And he knows he loses the third ghoul there. Nice deny, though. He knows that CrunCher's not going to expand, so we will see how is CrunCher's one base now. How much has he practiced one base against Undead?
iNSUP again threatening these surrounds always. Doesn't have that Nova yet. Oh,
there's no TP. There's no TP! No way! He locks it in. The Archmage is dead yet again. Is he going to go for the... Oh, he's going to trade it. One attack, level 2 now for iNSUP. Oh my god. That's one way. I mean, okay, I guess I'll shut up now. That was a time well spent. Tavern back, another Footman falls.
On one base, that's an expensive tab res, Carson.
Yeah.
iNSUP, man, sometimes he doesn't get away with this, but when he does, we start to see how good this guy really is. I mean, these are some really nice surrounds. Little unfortunate the Water Elemental was there, but it's going to feed some damage, feed some XP, but not that much healing from the Lich. That was actually a nice play from CrunCher. If we're being honest, he's going to use that Ritual Dagger again a second time. But yeah, just really smooth play. So now we're tier 2. We got rifles coming out. Probably going to see some Sanctums as well, but everything's super late because, you know, CrunCher spent so much time and money trying to get that hero back.
Mountain King coming back. Honestly, I mean, this could be a position where like a Paladin or a Blood Mage honestly isn't too bad, but Mountain King is of course going to be the standard choice, and especially you need the bolt for the damage follow-up with the rifles on one base. Another Ghoul maybe going to fall. Nova going to almost secure that level 3 for the Lich. It's getting pretty close. But
yeah, a bunch more skellies
maybe
coming
over-aggressive here. Do you think he's going to end up being over-aggressive? We've seen this before. You mentioned this right at the beginning of the game. I hope for iNSUP's sake we don't see him overcommit.
I mean, the worst thing you could do is wait for the Mountain King to come out, get bolted, killed, right? Then you just all your map control's gone, and it doesn't look like he's going to do that, though. He sees the timing. He's going to back off tier 3, or tier 2, sorry, on the way for iNSUP, and just going to slow this game down a bit. He's definitely done enough time, but definitely done enough damage. But once this Mountain King comes out, CrunCher's still in a really good spot to just creep out big camps and start plugging away again. It's incredible how CrunCher stayed into this. He's lost so much.
Did something happen with the tech of iNSUP, by the way? I didn't really look at his base, honestly, the entire game, but it feels like he maybe misrallied a couple of ghouls and didn't have his tech. I feel like his tech should have been long done by now, but tier 2 is now going to be done. His Death Knight's going to come out soon. Oh, I guess he did commit for the backpack, and maybe he pulled a couple of extra ghouls. Maybe he waited for the second Zig to be done before building ghouls.
Ritual Dagger.
Yeah, Ritual Dagger as well. Yeah, but Potion and Mana Pot also on the Lich. That's now level 3. Going to go across the map with that Death Knight on his way in another 30 seconds. iNSUP seems to be more aggressive than ever at this stage. I
mean, he's got the eye of the tiger. He's really feeling it. I don't blame him either. Mountain King gonna hit level 2 very quickly though. CrunCher's not wasting any time either, and he knows that now he needs efficiency. I need to be super efficient, claw my way back in. I was behind, and I have to say, like, he's really evening this back out. I mean, the rifles are coming out, the casters are coming out. This is a good timing for iNSUP though. One peasant gonna go down. The farm doesn't block, and this might be a flood, an undead flood, and the main base has level 2 Nova. Oh, this is a lot of damage.
Rising up straight to the top. Got the Gust, got the Glory. A couple of peasants perhaps going to fall. Is there another Nova? There's another Nova, and maybe even more peasants could fall. The Potion of Healing was used, and let's not forget there's also a Mana Pot. A lot of damage doing for iNSUP. Currently, another peasant falls to the right, another falls in the main base. The clap is good to get a couple of ghouls. The economy is honestly a little bit in shambles, though. We'll get a peasant count. Once this town portal is over, I believe 2 ghouls fell. And at the end of the day, we're left with, what is it, 7, 8 peasants in the main?
That was a very good harass from iNSUP. It bought him so much time. The DK is coming out. Now we see the transition for Fiends and Destroyers. Probably A-bombs in the later end because Rifle Caster, they're pretty good if you can get those Destroyers up. But the main transition right now, get those statues out, get that tier 3, and start plugging away. But I definitely think there was a lot of damage, and CrunCher knows this too, but CrunCher right away going for a big camp. And, you know, iNSUP's going for that expansion. It's not a big camp. I mean, these mid camps are what's more important. Bolt on the Lich from downtown as well. Onk for the Mountain King. He's not messing around. This Mountain King level 2 Carson is about to hit level 3 faster than the Archmage.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's going to go level 2 Clap, expecting more ghouls, or level 2 Stormbolt. The Death Knight, of course, would love Aura as well on the side of iNSUP. But even more than that, he would love to get that tier 3 to get that orb before he takes a fight. I don't think iNSUP can actually win a fight right now. He's done a lot of damage, but I don't know if now's the time. Nice little steal on that Priest. Is this going to be level 3? It's just going to be perfect amount of experience for level 3 on that Mountain King. Yeah, iNSUP's got to wait a little while longer.
Does go for the Clap, too. Level 2 Clap.
All right.
The ghouls look super juicy, man. Ghouls and fiends. I mean, this army still needs to transition for INSUP, right? It's not maximum power yet. Tier 3 is going to hit, though, which is good. Gets that orb over for that Lich, and INSUP in the middle of the map would have loved to have a Nova, but he doesn't have a Nova just yet. Okay, sacrifices a ghoul. Now he's got one locked in. Does he want to take a fight? Once that orb is on the Lich, I think you should.
The time that CrunCher's been power creeping, like you pointed out earlier at the shop, he's just been power creeping. INSUP has kind of just been trying to look for damage, and he did with that run by into the main base, but CrunCher's fully stabilized. And the supply advantage is actually in the humans' favor. We might even be able to see a tier 2 expansion out of CrunCher, but for now, the classic Imperious Mr. Winner timing, perhaps, with an Arcane Tower into the main base, would love to see it in Game 3.
And this was INSUP's main practice partner. If you check his Twitter, 5 games played against Mr. Winner, so he's fully committed to this style. Oh, there's the level 2 clap. It hits all these ghouls. We knew these ghouls were fodder from the beginning, but, I mean, this just makes it a lot easier for the human player to whittle these down before a fight even takes place. A second clap.
And now a block. There's no more mana on the Mountain King, but plenty of kills for CrunCher as he presses forward. Level 2 aura as well, by the way, for that Archmage, for plenty of mana on that Mountain King and those priests, and the trades are just ever in his favor, and it's only going to get stronger for CrunCher, but also for INSUP as he gets his orb. His Crypt Lord third's on the way, actually, as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, I like the Crypt Lord decision, but those ghouls were supposed to be a buffer, right? They're supposed to be a buffer for your Lich and Fiends to chip away, but now that you lose them right off the bat, now INSUP is just going to keep poking and poking until this Crypt Lord does come out. And a bolt comes in on the Lich. There's lots of mana on this DK, but he's only level 1.
And CrunCher going for an expansion behind this. He's pulled his peasants now. So all he's doing here is just ensuring this Death Knight stays on level 1 and just waiting for his expansion to get up. As long as that DK does not power creep right now, CrunCher is very happy, because by the time the DK is allowed to power creep, CrunCher's going to be mining on 2 base. So INSUP's got to get something done here. He's got to get CrunCher out of his face right now.
Oh, huge clap again. DK level 1, no aura. Everything just kind of gets juiced up and destroyed. Another ghoul going down, and CrunCher's okay with these trades because, like you said, he's just buying time for this expansion, which is now being built. Crypt Lord comes in, which is nice. Nice deny on the Water Elemental. Not feeding anything, but here comes the nuke on some of these casters, which is good. Crypt Lord has Impale too, and there was a rifle lineup, but there's no follow-up damage, especially with the Lich. Okay, now the Lich has a Nova. Oh, nice Impale. Could pick off 1 rifle. Any trade here is good now. Nice. There we go.
And INSUP can do this all day as well. He can go for these sort of trades with the Impale Coil Nova, with the Orb Focus Fire. He can do that, but that's why CrunCher's going for the expansion, because that forces the undead to fight into a position that is stagnant, that you don't have to be kited away from. You have to deal damage to the expansion right here and now. So look to INSUP to try to creep DK level 3 if possible, and then to pressure that expansion. He hasn't scouted it for now, but INSUP will definitely scout this expansion.
Also, look at the army composition for INSUP. I mean, the play right now, get your Crypt Lord level 2, get those beetles out, and just Dark Ritual those beetles for mass Nova. This Lich is very close level 5, and it's all rifle casters, right? I mean, good nuking. INSUP doesn't really have to take fights. You could just constantly chip away and start nuking down units. I would love to see that. Maybe he claws his way. I mean, the bad thing, though, is CrunCher's got this expansion.
Yeah, INSUP gets a Crystal Ball and actually reveals the main base, which the fact that CrunCher's not tier 3 is going to tell INSUP there's an expansion. But surprised to see him not reveal at least one of those 2 expansions. But so he doesn't know for sure quite yet, but he can, again, assume. Greater Mana, Mana Pot, Heal Scroll, Invuln, Potion of Healing on the Mountain King. That bad boy's not dying or running out of mana anytime soon.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, that's pretty brutal.
That's a lot of items.
Yeah, pretty brutal. I mean, Mana Pot and Push of Greater Mana. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of claps. CrunCher wants to get in position. Bolts a Fiend. And this is a good position for a clap. There's one. But here comes the nukes, right? One Sork about to pay the price. Oh, the Heal Scroll comes in. Perfect time. The Impale kind of useless because he doesn't have that backup attack. And now the claps come in. CrunCher is going to be picking up 1 Fiend. Level 4 on the Mountain King now. There's level 2 Bolt. That's going to help. And now we start to see the Mana Pots being used. Oh my god, that's a lot of damage, Carson.
And even if INSUP gets some kills here, even if it's 1-for-1, remember there's the expansion behind it, and all the Fiends are being clap, citied, and CrunCher at the end of the day, 52 against 41. And I think we're seeing another 3-0. I think we're getting our grand finals here, and it's what we come to expect. But INSUP trying to kite back. He's got strong heroes, but he doesn't have level 3. Nice little bolt dodge there, but not in time. It's pretty much just heroes for INSUP.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he could have relied on at the first place. He took these fights, and the Mountain King just absolutely schooled him.
Yeah.
Impales come in, and they are good, but there's no follow-up damage, so it's just all for nothing. These priests will just heal this up, and it's all for naught, really. And CrunCher's expansion has just been nothing but gravy. Yeah. His rifle caster's just constantly pumping out. This Mountain King's getting extremely strong, and yeah, it's just not going INSUP's way in this series.
CrunCher just gonna play it safe now. Gonna buy a town portal. He's got a second potion of invulnerability. INSUP goes back to what he was trying to do previously, which is just to creep to get this Death Knight level 3 finally. But now he's creeping with about 4 or 5 fiends less, and CrunCher's going to take the red camp now. He's pretty far away from Mountain King level 5, but he can get there eventually. You do have to at least try. Even if your goal is far away, Ricky, you got to at least get started somewhere. And this red camp's going to be a good start, you know? Good start.
Yeah, I mean, it's try it out. I mean, he has to creep. He's still in this game, don't get me wrong. It's just CrunCher is starting to steamroll ahead with these upgraded rifles now. He's going for the red camp. Mountain King's about to farm level 5. We saw what level 2 Clap does, Carson. Khadgar's Pipe, that's probably an item that INSUP would have liked.
Yeah, that's definitely an item he would have loved. Death Knight's level 3, though, for INSUP, and he could maybe go for the corner camp, go for the expansion. And, you know, one thing really good against Rifle Caster, Ricky, is high-level undead heroes. Despite the supply, like you said, the kiting with, you know, maybe level 3 Nova, level 2 Impale, level 2 Coil, you can trade very, very efficiently as the undead here. If CrunCher doesn't tech tier 3 and INSUP gets this 5-3-3 from these remaining creep camps, maybe that's his opportunity back into the game.
I agree 100%. I think he needs to start kiting this army for the rest of the game, but when there's a lot of economy coming in on 2 bases, how good can you trade?
Yeah.
If you're constantly Nova Coil Impaling.
It's got to be 3 to 1 at least.
I think the ship is kind of almost, it's definitely sailing away, but I don't know if it's gone yet, but the ship is close to sailed. And now INSUP's just trying to bank on creeping up level 5 Lich, level 3
You made
Sticklord.
two sticks references today. Mr.
Oh,
Roboto,
yeah.
and now this. A dodge doesn't land. Oh, and the Mountain King a little bit exposed, but just look at the items. 1 caster traded for 1 fiend, like we said, or at least like I said, it's got to be a 3-for-1 trade. Heal Scroll saves that rifle, town portal away, not without 3 fiend losses, and CrunCher's definitely sailing away on an open course right now, Rick.
Well done. Very well done. Potion mana being used, and that's the second red camp, and it's not even like CrunCher needs the experience. He'll take the item, though, but this is crucial for INSUP, although INSUP's been creeping a lot. He would love to get that level 5 Lich, and to be honest, exposed expansion, a lot of peasants could die here.
That's something maybe INSUP could have done previously.
Yeah, maybe a good timing. We'll see.
The player's forces are under attack.
Wait, another Khadgar's? Did I see that right? Or did he get claws plus 12? Another Khadgar's? Wow, that's a lot of gold, though. But yeah, again, INSUP definitely would have liked one of these red camps. He got 2 Khadgar's. Jesus.
What do you do if you're INSUP? He's banking on A-bombs in the back.
Yeah.
Crypt Lord got the Spike Carapace. He wants to just, I don't know, shock and awe, just run right in. It's just going to be sustained damage, but this Mountain King just kind of nips that in the bud.
CrunCher's going tier 3 now, though. He's getting stronger, which, you know, leaves a little bit of a timing for INSUP before CrunCher hits that tier 3 when INSUP has those numbers of A-bombs. He's got 2, soon to be 3. Man, it's just going to be so tough. And A-bombs are really not an army that you can kite with, right? It's an army that you engage into and hope you have enough meat in the front to soak up the damage. And I fear that INSUP doesn't, but he's getting the hero levels. This could be Lich level 5 if he solo crept it. Close, too, at least.
Yeah, I wonder if we're going to see that Pally come out on tier 3. The upgrades for CrunCher have been really good. I mean, he's about to have 2-1 right now. Everything looks really nice. Sells the Khadgars for a health pot.
The player's forces are under
Good trade.
We'll take that, yeah. A-bombs, no upgrades, which is kind of dicey, but yeah, INSUP is just pumping out these A-bombs now. It's supposed to be 5 for the good sir.
Lich level 5, little dust of appearance used to pick up that last item. Ooh, illusions. That's going to be nice.
INSUP doesn't know this, but this could be one hell of a jack. I mean, the whole army's scattered a bit. A Nova could be insane, but INSUP...
Come on, kill something.
Yeah, respecting it a bit too much. That's where you see the Nova Coil pick off, right? That's where you take advantage of that, and not happening there, but missing that window. But now he's going to eat a fresh Mountain King. Oh, the invis. He doesn't even see it, but now he does. Look at that clap. Every single unit. Bolt
And look
so
at the
much damage.
positioning. Look at the positioning that CrunCher gets for himself. Look at how these rifles are just, the abominations are just on top of each other. Illusions used, yeah, but not getting any value out of them. They're immediately dispelled. And again, the positioning is good for impales, but and for Novas, but the Death Knight forced to TP out. Actually, INSUP doesn't lose a ton there, but 2 A-bombs at the end. And
I don't want to
CrunCher's
sound
still
mean, but is this the worst choke you could have fought at on this map? I'm trying to look at chokes.
I think it is. Yes, I think it literally, or maybe on the far left above the red camp. No, that's actually, no, this is a worse choke than that.
Yeah, not the greatest positioning for INSUP to take that fight, especially when you're looking to get in damage. And, you know, if you've ever seen the movie 300, which I think INSUP has, your numbers count for nothing in a tight choke.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Rick. Well done.
Yeah, at the RT said that. Uh-oh, Impale. There's the health pot popped right away on the Archmage. No Paladin just yet.
Oh, the Death Knight, though, out of position and exposed, and the Abominations are soon to follow. GG, good luck in the final. 3-0 for CrunCher. Nice.